Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, fellas? Tommy and Toxic are here. Today is Sunday. It's Father's Day. We're recording, and it's a couple days after Friday Night SmackDown, which means we're going to be going over Friday Night SmackDown. How y'all doing today, fellas? You guys do anything special for your daddies today?
No, I didn't
Oh,
because
well,
mine ain't in my life. But I just
okay.
I just spent the day doing nothing because unfortunately stayed up all night playing with my friends. So I just didn't do much of nothing today.
Yeah, I didn't do much either. Overall, I got a bonus dad there who doesn't really like celebrating it all that much.
Yeah.
And my biological dad is all the way in California, which
Oh,
is
that's right.
which is why I'm going over there for Christmas. So yeah,
Nice.
other than that, we didn't really do much.
That's nice. Yeah, it's been a chill Sunday for me too. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, families getting together, barbecuing, and doing all kinds of stuff. Some friends are out in the river, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing that today, bro. I just want to be indoors in the AC because it's hot as shit out here. I don't know how it is for you guys right now. It's hot as shit. There's a bunch of World Cup games. I'm like, I'm just gonna, and I've been recording like all day and just fucking pretty much working. That's how I want to spend my Father's Day. So me. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Um, and yeah, you get to spend it here with us, enjoying it, talking about Friday Night SmackDown, which I don't know about y'all, but I really enjoyed it this week. How did you guys feel about that?
Um, it had its hits and it had its misses, but for the most part, I only enjoyed the hits.
Yeah, the show itself was pretty decent. I was a little bit shocked about the opening because I'm like, wait, why are we starting off with this? Because I thought that sucker was going to be the main event, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But overall, the show itself, pretty good.
Did you guys see that I believe there's an official date now for when Friday Night SmackDown is going to go back to 2 hours?
I think I heard like July 8th or something like that. I'm not sure.
No, I heard July 3rd, which is next week.
Uh,
Yeah, I believe it's July 3rd. Yeah, so that's good. What up, Maurice, Gregory? How y'all doing? We're doing good, bro. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That should be really cool. But let's get into it. Let's get into Friday Night SmackDown that we just saw. It started off with an advertised commercial free, the opening match for the Undisputed Championship, Gunther versus Cody with special guest referee Sami Zayn. Now, Tommy, you pointed out something really funny about this match. They said it was commercial free. The match, the first time around, because it got restarted. So the match ended. Cody Rhodes ended up winning. They went to commercial break, and it was only like 20 minutes into the match. So, could we even call this commercial free? No, I didn't think so. So basically, Sami Zayn was claiming that he was going to call this thing down the middle from the beginning. In the entrances, you can see Sami doing some hand gestures to Gunther, like, hey, I'm going to call this down the middle, right? That was one of the big questions going into this match. Is Sami Zayn going to cost Cody Rhodes the match? Because Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, there's been tension between them. And at the beginning of the match, it looked like the special guest referee was working more in favor for Gunther. Um, Sami Zayn, in his own way, was calling it down the middle, but it didn't really seem that way. Throughout the match, Gunther started getting more upset with Sami Zayn to the point where he got into Sami Zayn's face. They shoved each other. Um, Sami Zayn ended up slapping Gunther at one point, which it led to Gunther power bombing Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn pretty much got mad and did a fast count. Boom, 1, 2, 3, lightning speed count. Cody won. And boom, the match was over, right? And we go to commercial break. let's start off with that, fellas, and then because we know the match gets restarted later on because of the way that it ended. How did you guys feel about the first part of the first half of this thing?
The first half of it, I mean, it was pretty predictable on how it was gonna go. I knew that. I mean, Sammy was going to be like corrupt because he it did do the fast count. So, I mean, it was just pretty predictable for me.
It wasn't too predictable for me. Like, I had a feeling like Sami Zayn was not going to be able to fully call it down the middle because overall he's got problems with both of these guys. Like, he's had problems with Gunther's for a hot minute. He's the one who took the Intercontinental title off of him and all of that. And he's been beefing with Cody for the past like month. So there was no possible way that this man was going to be able to fully call it down the middle.
Definitely not. Yeah, I mean, usually special guest referees, it's not always where they call it down the middle. But yeah, right off the bat, this episode of Friday Night SmackDown started with chaos. Right, it was very chaotic. Lots of things happening. So the match ended. They go to commercial break, and then we come back, and they're in gorilla position arguing. Gunther's arguing with Nick Aldis. Cody's there. Sammy's there. They're all yelling at each other. Tensions are running high, and then Cody goes to the ring. He says, "Screw this." He goes to the ring, and he's like, "We're not going to end it like this. Let's restart the match. Get me a referee out there." And then Gunther and Gorilla, before going back out to the ring to continue the match, takes out Sami Zayn. Now I'm like, well, there it is, right there. Gunther fucking up again. Sami Zayn's going to come out, and he's going to end the match again, right? And that's basically what happened. They continue the match for about 2 minutes until Sami Zayn comes back out, and he lays out both Cody and Gunther basically with the championship title. And the last thing we see is Sami Zayn standing over both of them, looking down at him. And that's how this opening match ended. Sami Zayn ruined the opening match overall in both times.
Like I said, actually both halves were predictable for me. I saw actually no. I saw how everyone was going to be. I knew that Cody wasn't going to be like anyways, the only thing that wasn't predictable to me about this was it getting restarted. I thought it was going to be like that, but I mean, they were putting it over like a lot. They put it over on Raw, so I mean, I don't know what I expected, but to end this off, ultimately the triple threat at Night of Champions is inevitable to happen. It was, and it still is.
Yeah, just right after Sami Zayn got attacked by Gunther, I knew that this match was not going to last long because I knew that Sami Zayn had to get involved. There was just no possible way that he wasn't. And throughout the show, we did in fact get a couple of backstage segments where it is now confirmed that at Night of Champions, we will be getting that triple threat between Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther, in which that match was the most predictable match to happen because over this entire storyline, that has been the only ending that anyone could possibly think of is a triple threat between these three men.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the fact that we're getting a triple threat match. It seems like everyone kind of knew that this was bound to happen, right? But I still really like the way that they went about it. They took us in this crazy roller coaster ride to get to what we already knew what was going to happen. But I thought the ride was really enjoyable. The opening match was great. The fact that they had to restart it, how Sami Zayn was involved as a special guest referee, how he was trying to, in his own way, call it down the middle, but it was really working better for Gunther in his favor, down the middle, my ass, right? So I thought this was amazing the way that they did this. But yeah, we're getting a triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship at Night of Champions, which we will be doing predictions on sometime next week. And speaking of Night of Champions, you guys, the rumors are true. Jade Cargill has her eyes set on that United States Championship, and we're going to be getting a rematch. We got the announcement that Jade Cargill challenged Tiffany Stratton for the United States Championship at Night of Champions.
Are we going over that?
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
Okay. I didn't have that in my notes because I didn't see that part on SmackDown. I clearly wasn't paying attention. The only thing I have to say about this is why. I don't want to see this again. I mean, just who does? I know Tommy don't. Blood, I know Blood is gonna have a heyday when he finds out, if he doesn't already know, but I just don't need to see this again.
WWE, what the fuck? Why in the world are you giving us Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill again? That first feud was horrendous between these two. We didn't even want either of them as champion, but yet you still put both of them as the world champion in front of us, and we hated both feuds and both title reigns in general. Why are you giving us yet another Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill match? God, no. I wish this match wasn't happening.
And then the tag team titles were defended on Friday Night SmackDown. We went from a Undisputed Championship match to a tag team title match. The MFTs went up against the tag team champions Damian Priest and R-Truth. Now, before the match, we saw Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa had a little conversation. The MFTs walked in and were like, "What's that about? You seem to be a little bit distracted with all this bloodline business, Solo." The MFTs told Solo, "Maybe you should stay backstage and let us handle this tag team championship match without you, because we don't want any distractions or nothing like that," right? The MFTs go about their match. They're having their match. They seem to be in control. It's back and forth. R-Truth is doing his thing. He's over. He does a 5-knuckle shuffle. Great tag team match so far, right? And then Solo Sikoa shows up out of nowhere midway through the match. He did not need to be there at all. The MFTs were doing just fine without him. But the fact that Solo Sikoa went out there, the MFTs got distracted. Damian Priest and R-Truth take advantage and they retain. Could be Solo Sikoa's fault, one can say. The MFTs were not happy, and they pretty much walked away from Solo Sikoa after the match. So there's some tension getting bigger and bigger right there between the MFTs.
This was another pretty predictable match for me. I mean, there's no way Damian and R-Truth are losing those titles anytime soon, I don't think. I can't even predict on when they lose them because, I mean, think about it. It's a 53-time, 24/7 champion and a former world champion. When do you think they're losing those? Exactly. I don't know. But anyways, I don't think Solo coming out there leads to a breakup of the MFTs because I think Solo is going to need Tama and Tala when it comes time to face the Tribal Chief because it's coming, and honestly, I knew that the titles just weren't changing hands.
Yeah, overall, the biggest thing here is Solo Sikoa and the fact that he did, in fact, find a way, even with it being completely unintentional, to screw over the MFTs, and that is going to cause giant cracks within. It's very clear that Toxic may be right here, that he may need them for when he inevitably goes up against Roman again. But when that happens, after that, I do not see the MFTs staying with Solo Sikoa for much longer than that.
Did you guys see the backstage segment with Jey Uso and Javon Evans? They had a little confrontation before their King of the Ring semifinal match, where it started off friendly, but then as soon as Javon Evans, he decided to call Jey Uso Unk, Jey Uso was not feeling that, and things got a little bit heated before their match at that same night, later that night, for the King of the Ring semifinals. What did you guys think about that little interaction between Jey and Javon?
I thought it was just gonna be like no hard feelings like that. But I mean, I think Jay was the one that escalated it because I mean, Javon calls almost everyone that's old, like has been on the roster. Like he did it with the Miz. I'm pretty sure he's done it with Ray. I'm not sure, but it wasn't AJ. It was one of the two. But I mean, I just thought it was like a sign of respect, but then it led into the beef.
Come on, Javon Evans is within Gen Z. Of course, he is going to use some phrasings that we say, including calling him Unk, just because of the fact that Jey Uso is, in fact, older than Javon Evans. But this backstage segment I found very interesting because it did hype up the main event, which was Javon Evans versus Jey Uso for that. And with that being said, that match in itself we'll get to here in a bit.
Yeah, but first we had a number one contenders rubber match between Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes. The winner was going to go on to face Trick Williams at Night of Champions for the United States Championship, and it ended up being Ricky Saints. Our boy Ricky Saints, good old Ricky Saints. He's getting his first ever main roster singles title shot for the United States Championship versus Trick Williams after an exposed turnbuckle. Carmelo Hayes exposed the turnbuckle during the match, a great match, by the way. And Ricky Saints took advantage. I mean, it was kind of a fluke win, one would say, but a win is a win. Ricky Saints is going to Night of Champions, y'all.
This was an amazing match for me. I loved every moment of it, and honestly, it was either match of the night or second match of the night for me because there's two matches that I like tonight that like are neck and neck. But excuse me. It honestly should have ended in a double DQ so we get that triple threat, but not unless they do this one with Ricky and then the Saturday night's main event or Sunday night main event, whatever it is that's next. Like do that one with Carmelo, and then at SummerSlam they have the triple threat. I wouldn't mind that, but all I do know is that we're eventually getting that triple threat.
Yeah, we're definitely getting that triple threat at some point. But overall, Ricky Saints, at least he's competing for it. I am going to call it right now. I know I should probably save it for Wednesday when we do predictions, but I'm calling it now. Ricky Saints is not winning the United States title, but at least he's competing for it, and I am so happy for that.
Yeah, me too, bro. It's going to be good. You know, it's crazy to think about how Ricky Saints, it's still like, it still hasn't really hit me the fact that Ricky Saints is on SmackDown on the main roster, but let alone in a PLE for a championship match versus Trick Williams, man. That is fucking amazing. Like, how things changed for him from being in AEW Collision to NXT to SmackDown and now in a PLE, man. It's pretty insane, and it's only the beginning for Ricky Saints. How long has he been in the main roster? It hasn't even been that long.
No, it's only been for like a damn cup of coffee. It's been a couple of months.
Yeah. So that's exciting to see for sure. And I can't wait to see his match. And we'll talk about more about that when we do our predictions for Night of Champions, because speaking of Night of Champions, we got a finalist for the King of the Ring, Jey Uso versus Javon Evans, semifinals King of the Ring tournament match. And goddamn, bro, this match was insane. Yeah, I think besides Carmelo versus Ricky, match of the night. Jey Uso made Javon Evans look fucking amazing. Like Jey Uso kind of, he's like the older veteran, right? So he kind of underestimated Javon Evans, but Javon Evans was in control of Jey Uso for the first half of the match. And Jey Uso even started healing a little bit, doing the whole chicken shit heel thing where he was like, no, wait, hold on. And he was like, shake my hand, right? Typical heelish stuff. And Jey Uso had to turn up the volume. He got more fierce during the match. It got more intense. It got more physical. It turned into a fight after a while. It wasn't just like the respect was completely thrown out the window, which I thought was lovely. It was a great match. Javon Evans almost got the win over Jey Uso, but Jey Uso hit his big splash and defeated Javon Evans now he's going to go on to face Obafemi at Night of Champions in the finals of the King of the Ring.
This was that other match I was talking about that was in contendership of match of the night. I also loved, like I stated, this is a recent dream match for me. I've wanted to see two of my favorites go at each other, and I did see that. It was everything I thought it would be. And the move that Javon does where he runs around the ring and then over the barricade, it gives me like, you remember Braun Breaker's move where he would spear someone through the barricade like that? That's how it made me feel. It gives the same kind of vibes. But where am I at? I do like that Jey was genuinely trying to whoop his ass, and he did. But he showed respect after, because I saw a video somewhere where he picked up Javon and raised his hand. I also got surprised when Jey took the Spanish fly, because, I mean, he doesn't do any like flips or anything, so I was surprised. I want to see what Jey versus Oba is like, because no way it's going to be a squash match like the IWC hope it does. Or like Oba does to Jey, but it's obviously going to be a match. But another thing I'm excited for is when Jey and Oba does like their face to face before the finals. I wonder if Oba says the wrong thing and then Roman get in Oba's face, and that possibly teases their match, because that's obviously inevitable to happen.
Yeah, this match was, in fact, match of the night. There's no doubt about it. This match was everything I hoped it would be and way more. These two just work so well, and they clearly have quite a bit of confidence in Javon Evans. There's no doubt about it. With how he's been up till now, and the fact that not only is he going up against someone who is in one of the biggest damn storylines of the past 5 years, that being the Bloodline storyline, but this is also the same guy who is the longest reigning tag team champion of all time with Jimmy. So they've got some massive, massive confidence in Javon Evans, and I am so happy that they do, because this man is an absolute megastar.
And then they announced the official card for Night of Champions. Now, we are going to be doing predictions next week on these matches, so without giving too much away, give us a little preview of what you think of the matches that we're going to be seeing, which is going to be the triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship, Gunther versus Cody versus Sami, Obafemi versus Jey Uso, King of the Ring final, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, Steel Cage match, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, United States Championship, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints, United States Championship, and Io Sky versus the winner of Charlotte Flair or Liv Morgan, which we'll talk about in a bit. 6 matches overall, 3 of them only championship title matches. How are you guys feeling the card so far that was announced for Night Champions?
I want to say there's only 2 matches I'm not looking forward to. The rest looks fine to me, and I'm happy with it, but it's just those 2 matches that I don't really like, which I'll save for predictions.
Yeah, there's only one match that I'm not happy with, and that is Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, because fuck that match. But overall, this card is stacked. Just looking at everybody who's on it, holy crap. This is an insane card.
Yeah, and we also saw like a little teaser. We saw Jey Uso and Sami Zayn have a little confrontation. Two former, bloodline brothers. They're both going to be at Night of Champions. They both have matches. And they kind of shared the idea, the thought of, what if we both win? What if Jey Uso wins the King of the Ring? And what if Sami Zayn wins the Undisputed Champion? We could see Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn. It's an interesting thought, but we'll get into that more when we do Night of Champions predictions later on. Because we got to talk about the Queen of the Ring semifinal match, Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan, who's the current world women's champion, ended up winning. There's a lot of people that seem to be confused or upset about the fact that she was even in the Queen of the Ring tournament because she is the champion. Because if Liv Morgan wins it, I mean, then she's going to have to go for Rhea Ripley, right? So it kind of defeats the purpose of the Queen of the Ring, because the winner gets a title shot. Liv Morgan is already a champion. So why is she even in it, right? Well, she won the semifinals. She's going on to the finals to face Io Sky. Charlotte Flair had no chance here, man. This was a very, very dramatic main event because the odds were stacked against Charlotte Flair since Monday Night Raw. Charlotte Flair on Monday Night Raw faced Roxanne Perez, where Roxanne was on a mission to weaken Charlotte Flair before SmackDown. Roxanne was working on Charlotte's arm that she uses for the chops. And then on Friday before Charlotte's match, she gets attacked by Michin and B-Fab, and they go after her knee. So Charlotte Flair is going into this match versus Liv Morgan, despite Nick Aldis and the doctors telling Charlotte Flair not to do it, with one leg and one arm, basically. And Charlotte Flair still managed to give one hell of a fight, but it was not good enough. Liv Morgan was working on Charlotte Flair's injured knee throughout the whole match, until Charlotte said, "I can't do no mores. Enough is enough." And Charlotte Flair tapped out. Liv Morgan won in this main event.
I'm going to be honest. I hated this match. And it's not the match itself, but the fact that Charlotte got attacked backstage, as Snug said, and eventually had to take a break, cool down, and tell Nick Aldis and Alexa Bliss and the doctors and everyone saying, "No, don't stop it. You don't know what this means to me. You don't know how much it means to me." Just that, I don't know. That just I didn't really like the fact that Liv won. Hell, she shouldn't even been in the damn tournament to begin with, because she's the champion. We could have had a banger match between Io Sky and Charlotte Flair, and we got robbed of it because Liv wants it all. If you want it all, then not enter the tournament. Don't take a spot. Have someone else take it and wait for Rhea to come back from her knee injury to challenge for the title. And actually, not even that, because you don't defend the title that you have as it is. So, for the love of God, and for the love of God, I can't sit through another feud between Rhea and Liv. I'm not saving it for predictions. Io better whoop Liv's ass.
Yeah, the biggest thing here is that Charlotte was screwed over from the beginning. She was injured after injured. So that's the main thing with that, is the fact that Jade Cargill went, "Hey, Charlotte's been talking shit. Michin, BFAB, go do my dirty work for me. That was her entire thing with that. And with the fact that she's willing to still fight through the pain that she was enduring through that, because of the fact that they were going after the knee that's been in the brace, that she's had in the brace since she came back. So that knee was already screwed up, not ever 100% to begin with. But her doing everything and still going, hey, I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep fighting through this. It shows how good she actually is. But unfortunately, Tox, Liv only advanced because Rhea is out. That's the kind of thing I have a feeling with. Like, yes, Charlotte Flair has that star power, but with Rhea gone, Liv's there. But here's my biggest thing. These two tournaments have one gigantic thing in common. SmackDown is completely eliminated from both. WWE isn't even hiding the fact that Raw is the must-see show and the show that you should fully put your attention on, and not much else on SmackDown. That's just that, by the fact that semifinals had one SmackDown star in both tournaments, that being Charlotte Flair, and now she's gone, and it is Raw coded. All four are from Monday Night Raw, and that's what sucks the most.
Yeah, I got that feeling like way at the beginning of the tournament as well. It's just like, man, this whole tournament is just built around Monday Night Raw. And I think all finalists are from Raw. But yeah, we're getting closer to the end of the King and Queen of the Ring. Night of Champions is next weekend. It's right around the corner. We got one more Monday Night Raw, one more SmackDown before Night of Champions, and also before the Great American Bash. That's also next weekend too, right, Tommy?
Yeah, Great American Bash is on the 28th, that being next Sunday. And then we've got Night of Champions next Saturday.
Okay. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. And also AEW has their pay-per-view next weekend, Forbidden Door, as well. So there's going to be a shit ton of wrestling. And AAA is also next week. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy, bro. But I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Just like this. This was great. Like always, fellas, thank you guys for hanging out with us. And also everyone that was in the comments and liking and sharing and all that good stuff. We'll be back again for Monday Night Raw pretty soon. And we got a bunch of stuff coming up next week. We got predictions for Great American Bash and Night of Champions, the Raw review, NXT review. We got a whole bunch of stuff for next week. So definitely stay tuned, and we'll see you guys very soon. Tommy, let's get up out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Father's Day edition of the Monday Night Raw review on Snug Wrestling.
Friday Night SmackDown.
Thank you, Toxic. Of the Friday Night SmackDown review. Raw's tomorrow. So, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and now Sunday for right after the show, Monday Night Raw. Wednesday, next day review for NXT. And then Sunday for Friday Night SmackDown. Also, mark your calendars for Wednesday as we do predictions for Night of Champions. And with the Snug and I, when it comes to good old NXT Great American Bash as well. So, Toxic, join me on this one. That was one time for the one time. 4 letters.
Letters.
1 word.
1 word.
Yeet.